So today we're going to solve equations by multiply or divide. Multiply or divide decimals. Solve equations by multiply or divide decimals. Okay, the goal is the same as it is on any equations, and that is get variable alone. Get the variable alone. Oops, A-L-O-N-E. Get the variable alone. On all equations, this is our job. We'll do 5 examples. Here's our first one. Okay, so what am I going to do to get x by itself? I'm going to put it right here to the side. Divide by 9. Divide by 9. That's what I'm going to do. So that leaves me with x equals. Okay, now I'm going to write it over to the side, and I'd like you to write this down. You don't have to do all the calculations I'm going to do, but I'd like you to set it up. So notice I have negative 30.6 divided by 9. The top number always goes inside the box. So I would set it up like this. There's my box, what I call a box anyways. And this number goes inside. So that's negative 30.6. And the bottom number goes on the outside. This is how you set it up. Okay, so when you have to divide by 9, here is how you set it up to find your answer. And then you just take this decimal here and you bring it straight up. And now you're ready to divide. So I'll divide, you just write down the answer after I finish doing this. But now you have it set up, you can leave it like this. So 9 goes into 30 3 times. That's 9 times 3 is 27. Okay, you subtract that. By the way, I don't have to put this negative in there. I know my answer is going to be negative. I don't even have to bother with that. So let's see. So let me just scratch that out. So that leaves me with 3. Bring down the 6. 9 goes into 36. 9 times what? 4? 36. Okay, so 9 times 4 is 36. And there's none left over. So our answer is 3.4. So I go over here. The answer is 3.4. And notice whenever you divide, you count the negatives. There's one negative, so you know the answer is negative. Okay, so that's how your paper should look. Again, I'll do all this work for you. You just set it up like this. That way you know when you take a test. Okay, I'm going to separate mine by lines. Here's our next problem. So I want x by itself. To get rid of it, I have to get rid of the 2.5. This is divided by 2.5, so I'm going to be multiplying by 2.5. Okay, I'm going to put right here, multiply by 2.5. Multiply by 2.5. That's what I'm going to do to both sides. So I'm going to multiply the other side by 2.5. When you do that, put this in parentheses also. So this cancels out to 1. 1 times x is just x. I have to multiply these two and then I'll have my answer. I know my answer is negative because there's one negative. So I know my answer is negative. So I'm going to go ahead and set that up to the right. And there we have it, 10.8 times 2.5. And here's the trick. You have 1, 2 spaces, 2 decimal spaces. So you will move this over 1, 2 decimal spaces. So your answer is just that, 27. 27 is the answer. So over here for answer, 27. Actually, negative 27 because it was negative 10. Okay, on number 3, I want x by itself. To do that, I have to get rid of the negative 0.7. That's negative 0.7 times. I have to do the opposite of times. So I will be dividing by negative 0.7. That's what I'm going to do. Divide by 0.7, negative 0.7. So I'm going to divide by negative 0.7, divide by negative 0.7. Okay, and this is gone. That leaves you with x equals, now we have division. Remember, the top number goes in the box. The top number. So I will put that right up here. The top number is 2.45. That goes inside. The other number goes on the outside. Negative 0.7, or just 0.7. We know our answer is negative because there's one negative. So I'll just put that down now. All I have to do is divide. So remember when it has, again, you can stop right here if you'd like to, and I'll do the work with you or for you. So I have to move the decimal over one space so that it's just a 7. So I have to move the decimal over one space and then bring it straight up. So there's the decimal right there. Okay, let's see. Does 7 go into 2? No. Does 7 go into 24? Yeah, 3 times. 7 times 3 is 21. That gives us 3 left over. Bring down the 5. 7 goes into 35. 5 times, right? That gives you none left over. So 3.5 is our answer. So I go over here. The answer is 3.5. And it's negative because there's one negative. Okay, we're going to just do 4 examples. We'll stop there. That's plenty. It's pretty much it's redundant at this point. So we have x divided by negative 3.7 equals negative 240. I want the variable by itself. I'm dividing by negative 3.7, so that means I have to do the opposite. So I will multiply. So I'll write that down here. I'll multiply by negative 3.7. I'm going to multiply by that number. Negative 3.7. Oops, excuse me for the sloppiness. And on this side, oops, I didn't leave myself very much room, did I? Rats. Negative 3.7. Oh well. Good thing neatness doesn't count here. Okay, so that leaves me with x. And on the right side, all I have to do is multiply those out. So looking at it, is it going to be a negative answer or a positive answer? I have 2 negatives, and I'm multiplying. That's right, it'll be a positive answer. So let's multiply these 2 out. So 240 times 3.7. So now I'll go ahead and I'll move my decimal over one space because there's one decimal space after the decimal, one space after the decimal. So I will now move the decimal from here over to here. So the answer is 88. $888. What am I saying? 888. Okay, so you have 2 examples where you divided and 2 examples where you multiplied.